As the planet deals with severe flooding, fires, and extreme heat waves, an urgent call from the UN Secretary General to address the pace and scale of climate change.
It is still possible to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees by century's end. The bottom line, clean is competitive and climate action is imperative.
On the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, Guterres convened a high-level summit to take stock of updated national climate action plans from parties who signed the 2021 Paris Agreement. The aim of the landmark, legally binding treaty on climate change is limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. To achieve that goal, the UN previously said greenhouse gas emissions needed to have peaked before 2025 and need to decline by more than 40% by 2030, landmarks that so far members collectively aren't meeting. Heads of state, dignitaries, and business leaders outlined their renewed commitments ahead of COP30, a key climate conference convened by the UN to be held in Brazil this November. China, the world's leader in green energy, intensified its commitments towards cutting greenhouse gas emissions. President Xi Jinping also stressed a need for global cooperation on climate goals. The EU and other nations also said they're making strides towards a clean transition. Reaction to the summit was positive, and dignitaries and officials agreed urgent action is needed.
We are strongly committed to the climate goals in the Paris Agreement, and we do our utmost best to achieve those goals, and we are determined to work on it, but at the same time we're also realistic, because all the people and all the business have to step in.
Absolutely, and you know, with these NDCs, so many countries are still trying to reach the targets and do what they're supposed to do.
I think the Chinese president's announcement is really remarkable. It comes at a very good time. It gives added impetus to global efforts to contain climate change.
China has leadership in many of the leading technologies today, and one of them is, solar and wind and renewables. China is the major exporter in the world and has managed to reduce the production cost.
Notably absent from the high-level gathering, U.S. President Donald Trump. He withdrew from the Paris Agreement for a second time when he took office in 2025. He first pulled out during his first term, saying the treaty placed an unfair financial burden on the U.S. During his General Assembly address a day ahead of the summit, Trump called climate change a scam.
It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others, often for bad reasons, were wrong.
The meeting also discussed solutions, including increasing the capabilities of early warning systems and funding for developing nations to help mitigate the worst effects of climate change. Karina Mitchell, CGTN, UN.